There is a tiara locked inside Buckingham Palace that has not been touched in over 20 years. 2,600 diamonds, made specifically for a queen, and for 2 decades nobody wore it. Then, one evening in December 2025, Catherine, Princess of Wales, walked into a state banquet at Windsor Castle and put it on her head. The room went quiet in a way that had nothing to do with the music stopping. What happened that night was not just a fashion choice. It was not just a beautiful woman wearing a beautiful crown. It was a message, a very clear, very deliberate message sent from one end of the palace to the other. And the person it was directed at sat at the very same table, watching it happen. Today we are diving into the story of Diana's jewels, who actually has them, why Catherine is wearing them now, and what it means for the future of the British royal family. Because here is what many people do not know. When Princess Diana died in 1997, the public assumed her jewelry went to her sons. That made emotional sense. That felt right. But it was not entirely true, and that legal distinction is at the heart of everything happening inside the palace right now. Diana had 2 kinds of jewelry. There were her personal pieces, things she bought herself or were given to her privately. William and Harry each inherited some of those. William received Diana's famous sapphire engagement ring. Harry got an aquamarine cocktail ring and a Cartier watch. These pieces belonged to them personally. But then there was the royal collection. The royal collection is different. It does not belong to any one person. It belongs to the crown held in trust for the nation, and the reigning monarch decides who gets to use it. When Diana died, those pieces went back into the royal vault. Queen Elizabeth controlled them. Now King Charles does. And as William and Catherine move closer to the throne, their access to that vault grows. There is a reason Catherine has been seen wearing more and more of Diana's pieces in 2025. It is not by accident. It is not a coincidence. It is a signal from the palace itself about who the future belongs to. The woman sitting across the table at that Windsor banquet understood that perfectly. Camilla, Queen Consort, has spent years building her role inside this institution. But no amount of titles can give her what Catherine now has: the quiet, powerful blessing of Diana's legacy. Sources close to the palace say the tension is real. It is not dramatic arguments in hallways. It is something quieter and more uncomfortable than that. It is the feeling of watching a younger woman walk through a door that was never fully open to you, and realizing the door was being held open by history itself. To understand why these jewels matter so much, you have to go back to the beginning. The Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara was created in 1914 for Queen Mary. She designed it herself, based on a headpiece worn by her grandmother, Princess Augusta of Hesse. It was made from diamonds and pearls already owned by her family, which made it deeply personal from the very start. Queen Mary wore it. It passed to Queen Elizabeth II, and then, on loan, it went to Princess Diana. Diana wore the Lover's Knot tiara more than almost any other piece in the royal collection. She wore it dramatically, confidently, at state banquets and foreign tours. It became part of her image in a way that was almost impossible to separate from the woman herself. For the public, that tiara was Diana's crown. After her death in 1997, the tiara was placed back into storage. For years, it was not seen. Insiders at the time say it was treated almost like a wound, something too raw to bring back out. Then, Catherine married Prince William in 2011. And slowly, carefully, things began to change. Catherine first wore the Lover's Knot tiara in 2015. The reaction was immediate. People did not just see a beautiful tiara, they saw Diana. The emotional connection was instant, and the palace knew it. By 2025, Catherine was wearing the lover's knot tiara to some of the most significant diplomatic events in the British calendar, the state banquet for French President Emmanuel Macron in July, and again for U.S. President Donald Trump in September. Each time it made headlines, not because it was rare, but because it reminded people of someone they had never stopped loving. Camilla sat at these same tables. She wore her own jewelry, carried her own titles, played her own role. But she could not wear that tiara. That tiara carried a history she was never part of. There is something else worth knowing about the Prince of Wales feather brooch, because this piece tells the most complicated story of all three women. It started as a necklace, a gift from the Queen Mother to Princess Diana on her wedding day in 1981. It features 3 ostrich feathers, the heraldic badge of the Prince of Wales set, with 4-carat diamonds and green emeralds. The history of the piece goes back even further to 1863, when Princess Alexandra of Denmark received it from her husband, who would later become King Edward VII. This brooch has been worn by princesses of Wales for over 160 years. When Diana died, the necklace returned to the royal collection. Years later, Camilla accessed it. In 2019, she wore it, but not as Diana had. Camilla had the necklace converted into a brooch. The public reaction was swift and negative. Many royal fans called it disrespectful. Jewelry expert Helen Dimmock, who addressed this topic in July 2025, explained that altering a necklace into a brooch could reduce its value compared to keeping the original form, and that the damage to Camilla's public image from the decision was harder to measure but very real. December 3, 2025. Windsor Castle. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and his wife arrived for a state banquet. The kind of evening the British royal family does better than almost anyone in the world. Candlelight, crystal, centuries of tradition packed into a single room. Catherine, Princess of Wales, walked in wearing Queen Victoria's Oriental Circlet tiara. It had not been seen in public in over 20 years. Queen Elizabeth II was the last person to wear it. The tiara was created in 1853. It contains 2,600 diamonds, and until that night, it had only ever been worn by queens. Let that land for a moment. Not princesses, not consorts. Queens and the palace put it on Catherine's head. The message was impossible to misread. Catherine is not yet queen, but this tiara, historically reserved for queens, was placed on her specifically, not on Camilla, not on Princess Anne. The palace was telling the world something out loud, using the only language that the royal family truly trusts: jewelry. Accounts from those familiar with the palace say Camilla found this difficult. Not the tiara itself, but what it represented. The Oriental Circlet is not just a crown. It is a coronation of sorts, a public announcement that the institution has chosen its future, and it is wearing sequins and diamonds and looking breathtaking. What many people don't know is that this tiara moment did not happen alone. Earlier the same year, King Charles granted William and Catherine the right to issue royal warrants, making Catherine the first Princess of Wales to hold that power in over 115 years. The warrants and the tiaras are linked. One grants institutional authority, the other demonstrates it publicly. Together, they tell a story about where the power in this family is moving. Palace aides, according to multiple accounts, report that Charles is increasingly shifting responsibilities toward William and Catherine. More state events, more diplomatic appearances, more access to the vault. Each step up the ladder means one more item comes out of storage, one more piece of Diana's legacy becomes part of Catherine's public identity. And then there were the pearl earrings. On March 10th, Catherine attended the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. She wore a red Catherine Walker dress, a designer that Diana had loved. She wore a choker from Queen Elizabeth's personal collection. And on her ears, she wore Diana's Collingwood pearl drop earrings. 3 women in one outfit. Diana's dress designer, Queen Elizabeth's choker, Diana's earrings. The press noticed. The public noticed. And by all accounts, the palace noticed too, because this is exactly the kind of thing the palace plans. Nothing Catherine wears at an event like that is accidental. Every piece is approved. Every combination is deliberate. Camilla holds the title of queen. She has the rank, the position, the protocol. But when Catherine walks into Westminster Abbey wearing Diana's earrings, something shifts in the room that no title can fix. The people feel a connection. They feel continuity. They feel like Diana never fully left. That is what Camilla cannot escape. Let's talk about what really happened over the course of 2025. 3 Tiara moments, each one bigger than the last. The lover's knot at the Macron banquet. The lover's knot again for Trump's state visit. And then the Oriental Circlet at Windsor Castle in December, a tiara that had been locked away for 2 decades, brought out specifically for Catherine and nobody else. This growth from simple earrings to Queen Victoria's crown is not a fashion evolution. It is a succession plan being played out in public, one diamond at a time. Accounts from palace insiders reveal that King Charles is not a neutral party in all of this. He may appear to be above the drama, but his decisions which pieces Catherine can access, which events she attends, which powers she is granted, are deliberate. He is building the institution he wants to hand over, and the institution he is building has Catherine at its center. William's role in this is harder to see from the outside, but those close to the palace say it is significant. Whispers from royal circles suggest that William and Catherine's handling of family controversies, the Andrew situation, the Sussex separation, years of quiet strategic decisions, has made Camilla uneasy. She has reportedly been warned, in the careful language that the palace uses for such things, not to challenge their position. This is not a family squabble. This is an institution deciding its future. What many are questioning now is whether Camilla truly understood when she altered Diana's necklace into a brooch in 2019, how the story would eventually unfold. Because here is what happened. Camilla changed the piece. She made it her own. And then at the 2025 U.S. state visit, Catherine wore it, the brooch version, the Camilla version, on a burgundy coat dress at a major diplomatic event in front of the world. Diana wore it as a pendant. Camilla changed it into a brooch. Catherine wore the brooch. 3 women, 1 piece of jewelry. A story told entirely without words. Royal observers noted the detail immediately. Whether Catherine intended a statement or simply chose a beautiful piece for an important occasion, the effect was the same. The connection between all 3 women was visible, unmissable, and deeply felt by the public who has been watching this family for decades. The bigger picture is this. Catherine has spent 14 years in this role. She came in quietly, cautiously, wearing affordable earrings and modest jewelry. She made few waves. She learned the institution from the inside. And somewhere along the way, the institution decided it trusted her with its state occasions, its diplomatic events, its royal warrants, and its vault. The jewels of Princess Diana, the pieces that represent compassion, connection, and a relationship with ordinary people that the monarchy has rarely achieved before or since, are now being passed to the woman who will one day be queen. Not because Catherine demanded them, not because she played politics or outmaneuvered anyone, but because she earned them, quietly, over years of showing up and doing the work. Camilla is not finished. She is experienced, politically skilled, and she holds the highest title in the family. But the public's emotional relationship with this institution runs through Diana's memory, and that memory is now inseparable from Catherine. The tiara in the vault that sat untouched for 20 years is back under the lights. The pearl earrings that Diana wore are back on stage. The brooch that passed through 3 pairs of hands is being worn at state visits. These stories provide insight into something that goes beyond royal gossip or palace drama. They reveal how institutions carry memory forward, how legacy is not just inherited, it is chosen, earned, and worn, and how the most powerful statements an institution can make are sometimes made entirely in silence, with a diamond tiara and a pair of pearl earrings in a room full of candlelight. Diana's promise to represent the people, to bring warmth into a cold institution, did not die in Paris in 1997. It went into a vault, and now it is coming back out.